Okay, in this video we're going to learn how to multiply complex numbers, and before we begin you need to remember that I squared equals -1, and you also know that the square root of -1 equals I. So you need to keep this in mind when we're multiplying complex numbers. So we're going to start with the distributive property. So 2i times 3, that is 6i, and then 2i times -5i, that is -10i squared. But then I know that I squared is -1, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to substitute I squared with the -1. I'm going to rewrite this equation, and whenever I see I squared, I'm going to write -1. So it will be 6i minus 10 times I squared, which I know that is -1. And then we simplify. 6i, negative times negative, that is positive. 10 times 1, that is 10. And then we write the expression in standard form. The real part goes first, so that is 10 plus 6i. And that's the answer. Let's try another example. We're going to multiply 4 minus 4i by 6 minus I. And we're going to use FOIL. So we're going to multiply 4 times 6, that is 24. And then 4 times -i, that is -4i. -4i times 6, that is -24i. And then -4i times -i, that is positive 4i squared. We're going to combine like terms, so 24. -4i minus 24i, that is going to be -28i. And then we have 4i squared. But again, I know that I squared is -1. So it's going to be plus 4. And instead of I squared, I write -1. We can simplify this a little bit further. So it's 24 minus 28i. 4 times -1, that is -4. And then we combine like terms. So 24 minus 4, that is 20. 20 minus 28i, that's the answer. Okay, let's try one more example. Again, we're going to use FOIL. 3 times 3, that is 9. 3 times -2i, that is -6i. 2i times 3, that is positive 6i. 2i times -2i, that is -4i squared. So now we have 9, -6i plus 6i, that cancels out. -4i squared, but again I know that I squared is -1, so that's what I'm going to write. So 9 negative times negative, that is positive. 4 times 1, that is 4. 9 plus 4, 13. If you can recognize this as a difference of two squares, then you can multiply just the first term and the last term. If you're not sure, then you can always use FOIL and it will always work. And that's it. On the next video, we are going to learn how to evaluate powers of I.